Alright, welcome back to another episode of ADHD and Crochet. And today we're going to do kind of a Nightmare Before Christmas theme. I have a little doll here that's technically Halloween. He was kind of unfinished and sitting there, and I want to finish him. So, let's get started. We're going to start with the tail and just kind of work our way up. My string is already not wanting to thread. There we go. Off to a great start. Well, I don't know where my pin box went. I'm just going to use a bit of yarn there as a pin holder. My work area became a slight mess recently. That's okay. Personally, I really like these dolls. They're very cute. They're like little voodoo dolls. Depending on how you embellish them, they can be more or less creepy. I, of course, vote for slightly more creepy. Right, so there's the tail. We're going to go ahead and make our little knot here. We have a lot of parts to get through, and I don't plan to make this a two-part video. If we don't finish it today, that's fine. Lighter string and snip snip. I'm going to work on a little seam next. This does just kind of follow the seam on the doll from making it out of each row. It just seemed like a good place to put stitching. Kind of makes it look like a zipper almost. Off to a great start. Now this stitching is decorative. It doesn't really have any other function. I think it makes it look cooler. And that's that. I'm going to make a knot here. The first string and the second one. Wait, it wants to be difficult apparently. There we go. We'll attach one of the legs. Now this pattern was a set of 3. You have a pattern for a cat, a bunny, and a teddy bear. I like to interchange the parts for each of them. So I used the body and head pattern for the bunny, and then I used the tail, ears, and bow, and the eye of the cat. The bear has like patchwork that you can make, and that's pretty cool. Now the legs I want to face forward, so I'm just going to stitch down the top. And then again down the inside. And we will just our little knot here, hide our string. And then we can move on to the next one. Now I will need to get a different needle when I get these bigger parts like the bow and the eye. But for now, this one is fine. And we're going to work around the bottom here a little bit. Making our way up towards the top. And just to clarify, I did not make this pattern, just bought it and used it. I do enjoy the pattern thoroughly. I did make a couple of changes just because the yarn I was using is technically two different sizes, which can affect the outcome. The purple is the smallest yarn on this. I ended up needing to use more rows of it and less rows of the yellow. Make it look nice. And make our little knot here. And snip. Alright, we're going to sew on the arms. Now you may have noticed I did not need to pin or sew on the head. The head actually turns on the body. Inside this is a bit of a flared hourglass shape. I put a little piece of plastic before closing it so that it can't come off as easily. This nice ability to freak your friends out. Little doll. I think it's a fun feature. I've sold these before and they were a hit. Now I made him a hat. I don't know if I will actually attach the hat or not. He has one. It's a little Christmas Santa hat. when sewing the arm on, I do need to be a little bit careful. I don't want to get my stitches in the head, because then it won't be able to turn. I also need to be careful where I put my fingers. I'm poked by the other arm. Now to make sure it's secure, I'm going to do the underside. I don't want any of that stuffing going everywhere. We're just going to make sure that this stitch. There we go. Last one on this arm. And I do have some plans for the Christmas season. I don't know which ones I'm going to do. I have a few ideas, but I don't have anything currently made for the holiday season, other than I have a hat. So that will probably be my first. But beyond that, I have no idea what I'm doing yet. I have some ideas. I might try to make some more birds from the Stardew Valley chicken pattern, just adapting that into different things. Species of bird, not just chicken. Because that fat bird is really cute. I love the fat bird pattern. It looks like I actually caught both sides of the arm on this one, but we're still just going to do some extra stitches just to make sure that it is secured and not going to be leaking stuffing anywhere. Oh, nope, I missed the top this time apparently. Go back there again. Things can get a little confusing sometimes. Now we've gotten the arm fully secure, so we're going to go ahead and make our knot. Maybe rethread the needle. So we can hide our string. And snip, snip. Now I need to pull out a different needle. This one should do. So we can do the bow. Little bow tie. Oops. Now this one is a little bit tricky because there's not a lot of good stitches to grab. And I don't want to change the look of the bow. I have to pick where I'm threading this a bit more carefully. Apparently, I'm going to grab the legs while we do this. That is essential to the process. Now I realize that there are a lot of parts to this, but they are rather small. They don't actually take very long to. Which is nice. It definitely took longer to make the little guy. And there's his little bow tie, so we are pretty much all attached here. One more stitch for good measure. Use that to make a knot. And then we will hide our string. I have a little voodoo cat here now. Doing his best to get in the way. Very cute. Very in the way. Are you gonna just lay down and be good, or are you gonna try and get involved? Both. Okay. I think we're gonna start with the ears on this one. Start with this ear. I'm just gonna work our way around and grab the ear. Answer is demanding attention. Yeah, you're gonna get in my lap. Don't hit my hair, Mr. Sir. No, don't eat that. Don't eat the microphone. The joy of a little chaos gremlin. Enjoy the satire videos where it's like, is your life too easy? You need more things to go wrong. Try having a cat. Don't eat the pin either. He really is just a toddler. He's going to try and put things that he shouldn't in his mouth. Were you thinking about having children? Try having a cat first. It will simultaneously prepare you for toddlers and teenagers. Now, I'm in a cardigan today. It does not button up, so I can't put him in my jacket as much as he would like me to. For the rest of the video is apparently going to be sewing on the ears. These are taking longer than I expected them to, compared to the rest of the parts we've sewn together. Now, they are bigger, they do have more stitches to them. Not that surprising. Only a little bit. And looks like we're reaching our end here. Beginning, I guess. Both. It's a circle. Alright, so now we are fully attached. I'm going to go ahead and make our knot. I'll go ahead and make the other ear, get that attached. I do have to make sure I'm catching the extra string here. I believe I had to put more rows on the ear to make them about the same size. Make the purple ear bigger and the yellow ear a little bit smaller. It's been about a month since I've actually touched this. I don't really remember, but I think that's what I had to do. I think technically this ear has more stitches to it than the other one does. Pause to pet the baby. He was looking up at me all expectantly, so I had to pet him. You understand. Yeah, you're cute. Who needs to talk to fill time when you can just have a cat purring into your microphone? And apparently rubbing all over it too. At least he wasn't trying to put it in his mouth that time. Although this cat has tried to chew on the light switches to my bedroom lights. He also tried to chew on the door latch. He's a very strange one. think it was just they were sitting there, he was sitting next to them. They kind of stick out from where they're at. And so he decided that that was a good thing to try and put in his mouth. He was wrong, of course, because that is not things that go in your mouth. In case you didn't know. But he tried anyway, because he is a special little boy. Yeah, I'm talking about you. We're getting close to done with the ear. We've still got the bandaged eye and the extra stitching to do. Technically, this doll is supposed to have like 4 colors. The body is supposed to be black and white, and then the head is gray and pink, and then the eyes are supposed to actually be crocheted actual eye shapes. But I decided to use a safety eye and do the cat bandaged eye. I thought they were more fun. And using that rainbow cat eye allowed me to incorporate the green a little bit better, I think. I guess Panzer is leaving. He decided he was done. It's fine. Gives me more space. And I lay on my work table that he's not usually allowed on. But it is covered in things. So it's being difficult. Making our knot here. I'm going to just hide our string. Alright, now we're going to work on the loop. Now this string is a little tangled, so give me a second to untangle it here. There is a small piece of tinfoil from an attempt of doing things with polymer clay. And and they're laid on it. You think most cats don't like tinfoil. He would avoid that. He did not. There are times in which I think my animals might be a little bit defective. Now this, just like the seam on the back, is just a decorative thing. It does not have any other function. It's not holding anything together. I don't need to be super precise in the stitches, just enough to keep it on and give it that little look, little embellishment. I'm gonna do my best to not let my string get tangled. Now the fun part, I can just turn the head rather than turning the whole body around, which does make this a little easier. I have some beef roasting at the moment, doing a slow cook over several hours for the day. And my house now smells really good. I'm going to be taking the meat once it's done being cooked and putting it on hoagie sub sandwich rolls with some cheese, and it's going to be very good, and I'm very much looking forward to it. It is like 6 o'clock in the morning currently. I have several hours before it's ready for having dinner. This is dinner. But I'm going to be thinking about it all day. I'm going to smell it all day. I can't really see these dark stitches on the darker purple yarn as much. Is okay. It does help shape the head a little bit. I ended up turning the body anyways, even though I didn't. That happens, especially when you are forgetful like myself. It is just habit to turn the whole piece, not just the part you're working on. Oops. I definitely gave myself more string than I needed. That's okay. And we've reached the beginning of our circle again. So I'm going to make my knot along this section here. How do you like this, sir? This is why you're not allowed on that table. You just push everything to the floor. And we've hidden the first string of this. And snip that off. My string is refusing to come off the needle. A little bit more. And we're going to hide this string right through the whole thing. Voila, it's gone. Alright, now this part off. We're going to focus on this part. And for this one, I'm just going to kind of go up the center here. Now I am working through a couple sizes of yarn here, and through these much smaller purple yarn and this green yarn here. That does cause a little bit of extra friction. There are also different textures. This green yarn is a little more rough than the purple yarn. The purple yarn is actually very soft. Alright, so we've got that attached. We're going to go through stitch we've already done, make our knot, our string, and we're going to hide the other one. So, half the patch is done, so now we're going to attach the other side. Make sure that's how I want it. Yep, there. Then we can do the same thing. We're going to just stitch right through the center here. These are pretty thin. Going around the edge would be a little much. There. Now, for this part, I don't have to go all the way down. I just need to catch the part underneath, which is more green yarn. Well, the actual stitching ended up being a little off center. That's okay. We will go ahead and make our knot, hide our string, this one, and hide this last one. It is really short. And now our little doll is complete. You could embroider a mouth. I don't think I'm going to. It's a little cuter without it. We do have a little hat we can put on it. That I have that where I want it. Move our string here. We're going to do a couple of small stitches here. I'm going to grab the arm. And I'm just going to do a couple here, just so it stays in place. Of shape where we want this hat to be. I think that's good. Still attached to the doll. You can still see all the parts of the doll. I'm going to work this here. I'm going to do a little bit of shaping. We fold this a little bit here. Stitch. Do another one. Just to kind of keep it folded. Go ahead and slip the yarn there. Now we've got our little Nightmare Before Christmas. And that is going to do it for this video. If you liked the video, please like the video. If you want to see more content like this and keep up with me through the holidays, go ahead and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one.